Welcome to my channel. In this course, you will learn how to create a cascading or dependent drop-down list using Angular 11. Cascading drop-down list means a series of dependent drop-down lists where one drop-down list is dependent on another drop-down list. Child drop-down lists are populated based on the item selected in drop-down list by a user. Let's start by creating a new Angular application. Now open a new terminal and use this command to create a new Angular application. Okay, now navigate to this application. Open in any text editor. My case, Visual Studio Code is preferred. Okay, now open terminal in Visual Studio Code. Now start server with this command. And create a new component by this command in generate, G for generate a component, C for component, and enter component name dp list. Okay, now create a service with this command ng g as directory services, and then create a service, name it data service. So just enter data and hit enter. Now create a JSON with country and states name. Inside assets, so click on source, then navigate to assets. I have already created this JSON. Take a look at this JSON file. This is the countries. Country has an ID and a name, and this is the states of the countries. Communicating with backend service, we have to use HTTP so that we can get access store.json by making a JSON request. So add HTTP client module in app.module file. Open app.module.ts file. I have already added this, and also add forms module and reactive forms module, and add this module in import section. Okay, now implement the data service. So navigate to services and then open data service.ts file. Now import HTTP client class from Angular common HTTP. Okay. Okay, now use HTTP client service as a dependency of an application class. So inject this dependency inside constructor of data service class. HTTP client. Now open app component.html file and remove all of this. Okay, and add app.dplist. You can copy this selector. Okay, open app.component.ts file and update the title Cascading Dropdown list in Angular 11. Okay, now we have to add the Bootstraps. Okay, now display the title in heading tag. Okay, now implement the data service. Okay, add a URL. The URL will be the assets/store assets/store.json. Okay, now define a method get all return any data. So So define method get all okay. Now return this dot http dot get any data. This any means any type of data, and then URL link. Okay, this get all method will return all JSON data. We will see this JSON data from dplist component. So open dplist component. Now import the data service from service data service. Okay, import the class data service. Now inject data service into constructor private data service. Now declare two variables to holding countries and states. Name countries, any type, and states any type. Now declare a method, name it show all, and call it from ng on init method. Now implement show all method so that we can access all JSON data in dplist component. Okay, now make a call in service with this code data service dot get all, and now subscribe. Call a function with data. Okay, now update countries variable with JSON data. Okay, now we can see all JSON data in console log this dot countries. Okay, save this file and inspect. Now go to console, reload and see. all the countries, and now declare a variable selected country and initialize with id and name. Id 0 and name empty. Okay, now create a drop down list in dp list component.html file. Add bootstrap class container to change look and feel. Okay, add a label for country. Use a div and define a class in div input group input group small size. Okay, now define the select tag and add two option tag. First option's value is 0 and display select country. Okay, now update ng for country and update with countries. And defer, so use this update item with country dot id and update with country dot name. Okay, save this file and reload. Okay, to bind the id of selected country, use ng model. Okay, selected country dot id and change it on select. So call on select method passing the id event dot target. Okay, now declare a method on select. Now call on select method by initializing selected id. This dot on select this dot selected country dot id. Okay, now implement on select method so that we can display the list of states by country which we select on the drop down list. Okay, this data service dot get all. Now subscribe a response with any data type. The states filtered by country id. So store the filtered states in states variable. Okay, now filter the states by country id. Country. Okay, country id equal country id value. Okay, then display the filtered states in console. These states. Okay, save this file. At first we have an empty array, and now select a country and see the states belongs to the country. Okay, now create dependent selectable list and display states of selected country. Open dplist component.html and add a label for states. Okay, add a class input group and input group small size. Okay, now you select add two option tag inside select tag. Select state. Okay, now add the states list. So define another option and g for state of states value equal state dot id. Okay, state dot name. Save this file and select a country and see the states of that country. Okay, okay, now update the div list component.html and see the component with a good looking. Okay, do you have any question? Please comment, like and share this video. Thank you so much for watching this video.